Hello, and thank you for joining us for today's broadcast. This broadcast is a product of Shry Media, LLC. Unauthorized use, sale, or redistribution of this media in any form is strictly prohibited without the express written consent of Shry Media. Radio and television mediums are encouraged to reach out. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the game.
Welcome to Ken White Field and Waleska, Georgia, home of the Reinhardt Eagles. It is college baseball on the Southeast Sports Network and our simulcast to the National Sports Broadcast Network as we're about to get started between the Ave Maria Gyrenes and the Eagles of Reinhardt University in an elimination game. The winner of last night's battle between the Eagles awaits. The Wolfpack of Loyola, New Orleans is going to take on the winner of this matchup. I'm Gabriel Shry, Lorenzo Robinson with me for this National Baseball Showdown. Lorenzo, Lewiston is in the sights of all three of these remaining programs. Who's going to move on to the final game and why?
Well, I don't want to make a prediction on who's going to move on because, as we've seen, you have to expect the unexpected in these situations. Everyone probably felt like William Carey would come out of their bracket being the home team, and then they were eliminated on day 2 of the opening round. So you can't go into these situations expecting something to happen. You never know what's going to be the case, especially last night with Loyola upsetting Reinhardt.
Yeah, really exciting matchup last night. And yesterday, this team played 14 innings to knock off the Mighty Oaks, so that was a thrilling matchup. Taking a look around, first Taylor and Kansas Wesleyan. That one is in the bottom of the 8th. It's a 2-run game, 7-5. We're also going to check in still in state with Georgia Gwinnett and Kaiser. The Seahawks battling them. They're in the bottom of the 7th and it is 7-3. Kaiser out in front of Georgia Gwinnett. in an absolute showdown. We're ready to go in this matchup, and it promises to be a battle to remember. Lorenzo, any final thoughts before we get started?
This is what you play for. This is what you've done everything the entire season for, to put yourself in a situation where you can punch your ticket to the World Series. For these two teams, the task may be a little bit more difficult, but still very exciting. Immediately
got a hold of it. Play over at 1 in time. Cut down by the Gyrenes.
And we've seen Robert Phelps on numerous occasions over the course of this year be very aggressive when it comes to attacking those initial pitches. This time not going his way.
One away quickly for Ave Maria. Crushed it, left side, absolutely hammered. My goodness, say goodbye. That ball has found its way into the ocean beyond Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. An absolute banger, puts the Reinhardt Eagles ahead 1-0 on a solo shot.
You can't ask for a much better start for the Eagles. Jacob Mantu didn't record a hit until his last AB yesterday. Stepping up big here with his first AB. Solo shot to kick off the scoring.
Now batting number 30, Nash Kroll.
And followed by the most dangerous bat in the lineup, and probably the most dangerous bat in North Georgia. Nash Kroll.
Absolutely a case.
Kroll has been a menace at the plate for years. The Reinhardt Eagle pops this up. He could be in trouble. It'll sail foul into the evergreens back behind the dugout of the Reinhardt Eagles, much to the relief of Kroll and Reinhardt University.
Cameron Horner on the mound for Ave Maria. Going to be tasked with trying to slow down this Reinhardt lineup. It took the Eagles a while to get going offensively yesterday, so we'll see if they're in line for a much better start.
Two one. Kroll watches that paint the corner.
Kroll, very aggressive at the plate typically. Also disciplined, but he's not going to be shy at swinging with 2 strikes on the board.
This one is going to paint the corner and send Kroll back to the dugout. He'll be replaced by Adrian Vargas at the plate.
Not entirely surprised to see Kroll swing right there, trying to help the Eagles maintain their momentum, give them that big-time boost that they need anytime he's able to send one over the fence. Just not able to capitalize here.
Lasered across the zone. Strike one. 2 away already for the Gyrenes of Ave Maria, who trail after the solo shot. Pump that up foul. Strike 2.
You know Coach Burton would love to see Vargas get going. He went 0 for 3 in the matchup against Loyola yesterday. So it definitely adds a lot of juice to this lineup.
0-2 floated. He could be in danger. This one going straight back into center field and controlled to retire our side and send us to the bottom side of our first inning.
Welcome to SESN, your ticket to the front row of the sports world, covering local, regional, and national events. We bring the game to you. Feel the excitement of every play, every score, every victory. Get your seat, get on air, and immerse yourself in the heart-pounding action. The Southeast Sports Network, where sports come to life.
Back at Ken White Field in Waleska, Georgia, it's the Eagles of Reinhardt and the Gyrenes of Ave Maria. Enter the bottom side of our first inning. 1-0 Reinhardt Eagles after a solo shot by Mantooth sailed over the left field wall.
The man at the plate for the Gyrenes, none other than number 23, Jesus Gonzalez, the man who walked it off for Ave Maria yesterday in their matchup against Oakland City. Went 5 for 7 on the day. Just a tremendous game from him. Obviously, the fans of the Gyrenes hoping that he's able to maintain his strong play. Five for 7, 2 home runs. Crazy game from Jesus Gonzalez.
Absolutely wild. 2-0. Strike one, took a big cut. Now the 2-1. Banger from Jesus Gonzalez, a little bloop into center field, and he's safely on board at first.
Gonzalez maintaining his strong form. He's shown himself to be one of the best players here in this Waleska bracket, continuing to rake at the plate.
Now batting number 14, Tanner Kelly.
Gonzalez has a green thumb. Always raking. Kelly was very efficient as well against the Mighty Oaks. Watch as this go by.
Tanner Kelly, a first-team All-Sun Conference selection, along with Jesus Gonzalez. This is the guy that they really need to see get going. They were able to win yesterday without him having one of his trademark major games at the plate. If he really starts to get his act together, standing in that batter's box, it can take this Ave Maria lineup to a whole new level, put a lot of pressure on the Eagles.
One. Pulls off, that'll be strike two.
Down for Reinhardt, Ryan Mahoney, the Loganville, Georgia native, formerly of Grayson High School, also known as Grayson University for those who are in Georgia.
Mahoney rocks and fires. Kelly got a hold of this, back left, sliding to make the play, and under this, the Reinhardt Eagles send him back to the dugout. One away.
It's a nice job by Luca Boscarino there. Some nice hustle, sliding, and securing that grab.
Now batting number 20, Dakota Jones.
Ave Maria, a team that definitely wants to try to put the ball in play, so the guys in the field will be prepared to make their mark today. It's going to be a lot of pressure on them, especially coming off of a game where Reinhardt had 4 errors in the field, so they're going to be trying to tighten the screws in this one.
Little check-in over at 1. Back easily in time, Gonzalez. Reinhardt pitching today, Mahoney the catcher, Morales. At first base, it's Kroll. At second, Dion. At third base, it's House. The shortstop is Phelps. In left field, Boscarino. In center field for the Reinhardt Eagles, Vargas. And in right field, Iceman. In the one hole is Gonzalez. Kelly at 2. Jones at 3. Majdich at 4 for Ave Maria. Kelly at 5, the second baseman. Crawford at 6. Cabeza at 7. Coffey in the 8th spot. And Van Leer rounding us out in the 9. Pitching is Horner. We saw him do well, save for a solo shot cranked by Mantooth in the top of the first. He'll look to settle down in the top of our second inning. 1-0. Trying to steal, hustling out into scoring position at 2 as he easily slides in, free down the base path.
We saw Reinhardt a bit vulnerable to some steal opportunities yesterday against Loyola. Loyola was very aggressive when it comes to trying to get in the scoring position. Ave Maria taking advantage there. As great a game as Jesus Gonzalez had yesterday, I think a little bit underrated was what Dakota Jones did. He kicked off the scoring with a 3-run homer in the first inning, and then he had a major single at another point in the game.
That rattles around. Strike 2, count even at 2.
Mahoney, it almost seems like, you know, where most pitchers are not trying to get themselves deep in the counts. They really want to try to get batters out as fast as they can. But Mahoney, he's not someone who's going to be shy at fighting his way through those long and deep counts. It almost seems like he relishes those opportunities. I can't tell you how many times I've seen him in a situation with a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, and he ends up either throwing a strike or forcing that batter to get out. So we'll make for some interesting battles going up against this Ave Maria lineup.
A couple of looks, and he'll fire. Blasted back and controlled easily. Underneath of the ball is Dion, who will send him back to the dugout with 2 away. They're going to leave him saying,
yeah, I think they're saying
brushed.
He's safe. It was hit high up into the air. By the time Louis Dion came underneath it, he was already safe at first. That one, I think, hit the ground before it popped up in the air. I don't think he popped it up straight up to Dion. But again, NAIA having instant replay and video review maybe could have helped us determine that one. But I believe that's what they're going with as far as the call.
It's already too late for replay on our end.
Ave Maria, a nice chance here to settle the score with Reinhardt here in the first inning with 2 men on.
1-0, strike 1, count even at 1. Yesterday, 14 innings for the Gyrenes of Ave Maria. That is tied for the longest game in program history.
And it was long when you talk about the time on the clock, but when you were watching the game, everybody was just on the edge of their seats wondering what was going to happen. It's like time was flying by. Both Ave Maria and Oakland City giving everything they had to try to stay alive.
Popped that up. Underneath this, center fielder controls. Tagging up and rounding the bases, the Gyrenes advance runners onto the corners. He will be retired and go back to the dugout.
We believe.
Looks like it.
We believe. Jesus Gonzalez doing a nice job getting himself over to third in a very threatening spot now.
Now batting number 4, Michael Kelly.
Michael Kelly at the plate for Ave Maria. It was a struggle for him yesterday. He went 0 for 6.
Down the line, and here we go. This one comes across. Another in scoring position at 3 as well. What a laser shot down the chalk. Runners on the corners again.
So I think Michael Kelly might have heard what I was saying that he struggled yesterday going 0 for 6. How do you get yourself out of a rut? Well, how about an RBI single for your first hit of the game? The first pitch you see, you take it for an RBI single. Great job by Michael Kelly to get himself going.
This is delivered with authority. Deadlock to run apiece in the bottom side of our first inning. Floated. This could retire the side. It's headed to center field where it's controlled by the Reinhardt Eagles, who will send us to the top of the second, 1 run apiece.
Want to watch your favorite Southeast teams in action? We've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at sesnsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere. Catch the most thrilling moments from your favorite local teams, only on the Southeast Sports Network. From jaw-dropping touchdowns to game-winning goals, we bring you all the highlights that make the Southeast the heart of sports. Don't miss out. Tune in anytime, anywhere, and relive the action like never before. The action lives on our YouTube channel, but you can watch highlights many different ways by visiting our website. The Southeast Sports Network, where every play matters.
Back at Ken White Field in Waleska, Georgia. Top side of our second inning, deadlocked, a run apiece between these two sides. Gabriel Schrei, Lorenzo Robinson. Glad you're with us. This has been a good start for these two.
It has been a good start, and very similar to the type of start we saw these two have in their game played 2 days ago. They left that first inning tied as well. Eventually, Reinhardt was able to pull away. But if you know anything about these Gyrenes, it's going to be hard to be able to put them in the dirt.
Warner delivers. This one popped up. He's in trouble on his way down the base path and sent back. Retired easily by Kelly.
Eagles offensively started very slow against Loyola yesterday. They
Now batting number 6, Luis
much more
Dion.
consistent in their matchup against Ave Maria on Monday, so we'll see which version of the Eagles shows up here.
1-0. Dion steps around it. Second ball for Dion and the Reinhardt Eagles. One away already for the Gyrenes on this side. Horner. This one is floated right over the top and dropped down. The little bloop gives Dion space and time to get over to first.
Folks, he's just a freshman. Louis Dion is just a freshman, stepping up again for the Eagles as he's done throughout this season. First team all-conference selection, getting himself on base.
Iceman. Huge cut, strike one. That keeps Dion on board at first.
Iceman was quiet yesterday. He went 0 for 4 in the game against Loyola. Definitely wanting to see him establish himself at the plate in this matchup.
Iceman, one strike. We'll check in again.
I must say I'm a very big fan of Ave Maria's uniforms today.
I like the green.
I think that green on white really goes together well.
I like the Gyrene green. 0-1.
Is that what they call it?
I don't know. I just made that up.
Well, you know, everybody has like that color, like what, garnet. Like I think that's Ohio State.
Is Cooper
That might
Husky
be
in here?
Florida State.
He'll know. Cooper's the bomb, by the way.
Ohio State is scarlet. You know, everyone makes up a color, says, hey, it's not that. It's scarlet. It's not
I mean,
red.
they didn't make that up. Scarlet's a color.
It's a color, but it's red. Like instead of maroon, we're gonna call it garnet because it's our school. You know, stuff like that.
Does Reinhardt have those colors? Here's the delivery, the 2-1.
Blue and gold. Blue and gold, just like on the color wheel.
But they don't, they don't have like eagle blue or.
We can make it unique if we wanted to, but just like what would you do that for?
I don't know.
That's like calling light blue, calling it Columbia. That's what Columbia does. They call it Columbia blue.
I like that. You don't like that?
It's light blue.
Okay, but I like that. I like Gyrene green.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's nice.
Just everyone doesn't, you know.
Gets a hold of this, driven, looking for the bloop, and it's down. Eagles have space. He's going to stay put in scoring position at second as the ball sails in from center right.
That's big time there for Barry Iceman after being very cold yesterday in that first matchup. Getting himself going with the single. We're starting to see Reinhardt's bats get going a little bit earlier today than they did last night.
One away, two on board, one in scoring position for the Eagles as this is fouled off.
The backstop Juan Pablo Morales didn't play in the game against Loyola yesterday. Trying to make his mark in this one. Generally plays in a timeshare with Ryan Stevens in that catcher spot.
Huge cut for the strike. Strike two, one away. Today's game is a repeat of Monday. The Gyrenes taking on the Eagles. Ave Maria took an early lead in the first inning against the Eagles, an RBI triple from Michael Kelly, but a quick 8 runs from the Eagles derailed the game. That'll go for a ball as it's low. This is only the second year AMU has met Reinhardt on the baseball diamond. The first time was in 2016. Reinhardt won a 4-game series 3-1.
2016, I was in 10th grade. 10th grade in 2016.
I was a sophomore in college.
Ooh.
Just learned to read and write.
Ooh. Ooh. You were in college in 2016.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. Yeah.
That had to have been an era, wasn't it?
Sepia television. 2-2 is Chopper through the infield, and the Eagles are cleared into scoring position at 3. scrambling around the base path.
And I'm sure Morales maybe wanted to try to get himself going, but he was able to do a very important job of getting both runners to advance. Now you put yourself in a position with Dryden House coming up to the plate.
Now batting number
A
17,
base hit potentially
Dryden
brings
House.
in 2 runs.
2 away. Deadlocked to run apiece. So Reinhardt lost last night 7-6 to the Wolfpack, who await the winner of this game, Loyola New Orleans. Reinhardt, to this point in the season, or I should say to that point in the season, to last night, was 32-0, 32 wins, 0 losses when they scored 6 runs or more. Popped up, and this one is going straight back as it'll be controlled to retire the side. It remains 1 run apiece as we head to the bottom of the second.
Want to watch your favorite Southeast teams in action? We've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at sesnsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere.
In Waleska, Georgia, it's college baseball. Deadlocked, a pair of runs apiece. Gabriel Schrei, Lorenzo Robinson. We're to the bottom of the second, Lorenzo.
Yeah, right now both teams still deadlocked at 1 apiece. Ave Maria and Reinhardt, they had a game that started off so sensationally on Monday. You can feel the energy and kind of a bit of a rivalry brewing between the 2 squads. Right now, it seems more subdued. Both teams trying to feel each other out in the early stages. But you definitely know once one squad starts to get going, their dugout is going to go absolutely crazy. It's just a matter of which team is able to take advantage first. Ryan Mahoney remaining on the mound.
Leading off for the Gyrenes, number 12, Sebastian Cabeza.
Sebastian Cabeza coming up to the plate for Ave Maria, the backstop. Cabeza, the native of Illinois, formerly from Jackson State University. Fouls that one off. Obviously, Jackson State very well known in recent years because of the work of Deion Sanders and his children going to Jackson State and making them a household name. As Cabeza lifts this one deep out the left field, going back, and over the wall. It is gone. We'll see you later. Cabeza, a solo shot. Ave Maria takes a 2-1 lead, courtesy of that solo homer for Cabeza. He gets himself going. Big time play there for him. And now we're going to see what Coach Burton does here. Is it decision time for him? It does indeed appear to be. Ryan Mahoney, he surrendered 4 hits so far through not even 2 innings of work, but it appears that Coach Burton is going to go with a change. Not surprised to see that. You're going to see these situations in these elimination games. Coaches understand it's win or go home time. You have to understand that any small, minute mistake can potentially be the end of your season. Coach Burton pulling out all the stops. Ave Maria pulling out in front, prompting a pitching change for the Reinhardt Eagles. And the new man on the mound for Reinhardt, number 27, Hunter Paulson, native of Ackworth, Georgia, formerly of Alatoona High School. Hunter Paulson, a guy who's continually gotten better over the course of his Reinhardt career. Paulson has just continued to progress year after year. He's really turned himself into a well-established piece of this Reinhardt pitching staff, and we've seen him come in a variety of different spots. He has experience in big games, multiple AAC tournament appearances. He appeared for Reinhardt in both the opening round and World Series last year. And this is what I was talking about yesterday, about that war of attrition that takes place in the playoffs, being able to have multiple reliable arms that you can go to. That's what you need if you're going to be able to take advantage and find your way to Lewiston. So Paulson on the mound as Reinhardt tries to slow down Ave Maria, who's starting to heat up at the plate. It's going to be the third baseman, Jimmy Coffey, coming up to the plate, native of Oak Brook, Illinois, formerly of Benet Academy. And this one popped up into the air and fouled off by Coffey. Coffey yesterday did not get going until late for Ave Maria. He was able to hit a single in extra innings. All in all, not much offensive production from him a day ago as he hits this one right to the waiting hands of Louis Dion for out number one. So down goes Coffey as Ave Maria still looking to extend their advantage. Number 22, Kyle Van Leer, coming up to the plate, the grad student from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Van Leer, a grounder. Phelps scoops it up, delivers it to Kroll in time for out number two. So far, so good for Hunter Paulson, able to retire the first two batters that he's faced. Now looking to retire the side as we make our way back to the top of the batting order. Jesus Gonzalez coming back up to the plate. Gonzalez, he might be the most feared bat in Waleska right now. So far in his last 8 plate appearances, 6 for 8. He can do no wrong. Paulson dealing. Pitch a bit low in the zone for ball number one. Gonzalez was thinking bunt there. Instead, it goes outside for ball two. That's an interesting part about what Gonzalez has been able to do so far this week. He's done it in a variety of different ways. He's played small ball. He's used power. We've seen a lot of great pitchers go up against him over the course of this year as well. Came into the week batting over 360 on the season, so not a surprise really to see him have this performance. We've seen a variety of different pitchers try different things against him, doing anything they can, looking to slow him down. Right now the count knotted up at 2-2. Swing and a miss for strike number 3 and out number 3. So Hunter Paulson immediately goes 1-2-3 through Ave Maria to retire the side, help steady the ship for the Eagles. We're going to see if they're able to respond. Gyrene's ahead, 2-1.
favorite Southeast teams in action, we've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at sesnsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere.
At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we see champions everywhere we look. In every sport, on every court, we're building a foundation to ensure all athletes are safe, supported, and strengthened. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, ending abuse is not just our job. It's our promise.
Back in North Georgia. College baseball on the Southeast Sports Network and our simulcast today, National Sports Broadcast Network. Popped up, and he is in trouble. Sailing and gloved easily. One away. Well played. Immediately, Gyrenes Crawford, the first baseman, gets under that and gloves it.
Phelps has been so effective for Reinhardt out of that leadoff spot this season. He's had his moments over the course of this week, but so far through 2 games, not exactly playing at that same level at the plate. Mantooth, his first time at the plate since his solo homer that came in the first inning. And Mantooth stays on fire for the Eagles, ripping one in the left field. Mantooth is safe at first with the single. He's 2 for 2, and he's trying to fire up his dugout. Jacob Mantooth, the second-team All-AAC selection this year. Another guy who hit for well over 360 on the season. Up to 14 home runs as well.
Kroll has to dodge that one. Very close.
Count right now 2-0.
Rocks and fires, and Kroll is in trouble as this just barely rolls foul.
Yeah, and it was playing a game of hopscotch along that line, just making its way out of bounds.
He'll return to first. Low. Count nearly full. That was ball 3. He's only taken 1 strike.
And if you're an informed pitcher, you're not going to give Nash Kroll something he can hit, right? You're going to try to see if he chases one, try to keep him off balance, but not really wanting to put one down Broadway, especially with that great power swing that he has.
Rocks and fires, and Kroll fouls off to fill our count.
Tell he's very aggressive at the plate in this game. He's looking to try to make a significant mark at the plate. Tough task for Horner to slow him down.
Oh! Kroll is hit with a pitch.
And, those don't feel great, obviously, taking one right in the back. But Nash Kroll's a guy who we've seen take some nasty ones over the course of his career, probably none nastier than that one against Southeastern. And if you're not familiar with what I'm referring to, I'm sure you can Google it. Nash Kroll took a fastball to the face against Southeastern, but the toughness that he has, he was asking Coach Burton, hey, when can I come back into the game after taking one?
I will never forget when he took that pitch. He got hit in the face. The sound the ball made when it came off of his head was awful. Awful. Tough guy, great baseball player. Nice guy, too.
Great guy.
Incredible athlete on top of it all. So he's on board, and the lead runner in scoring position at 2 for the Reinhardt Eagles.
That weekend against Southeastern was so interesting. I was making a point, having a conversation the other day, that weekend series against the Fire really kind of changed the trajectory of this Reinhardt baseball program, going up against the #1 team in the country. It seemed like the eyes of the nation were on that series. The Eagles were just outside the top 10, and you had the whole Nash Kroll situation, Reinhardt taking 2 of 3 and really establishing themselves as a formidable national contender on a national stage.
Vargas got a hold of that right side, and it goes down the line, just foul.
Do we have a chance to get replay for that one?
We'll try. Let's see what we got here. Another look at this. Went down the line. This is a replay right now, just so everybody knows. And we did not get a replay of it.
I would have loved to see just where that ball bounced. And again, not trying to be too judgmental of the eyes of the umpires, but wouldn't have hated to see a second look at that one and get a little bit of assistance. I know they would appreciate it.
Staying out of that one. I know what's good for me.
Stand for something, man.
3-1. Fouled off. I stand for great play-by-play.
Also, the integrity and the progression of the sport always has to be on the forefront of our minds.
No, just good storytelling and entertainment.
Oh, well, man.
As
you were.
That's what commissioners are for.
As you were.
That's what they're supposed to be for. I think that some conferences, some leagues, some individuals do a better job than others, as he is going to have to cut back to the bag and make the play just in time for the Gyrenes to send him back to the dugout 2 away.
Vargas hitting that one directly towards the first baseman, Crawford. Reinhardt's base runners taking advantage, now 2 in scoring position. We saw Ave Maria take advantage of this similar situation earlier in the game. Now will Reinhardt be able to put something on the board?
Two away. Sends that across with some power behind it. As you can see, 2 on board for the Reinhardt Eagles. Prime scoring position.
It's going to be up to Luca Boscarino to bring him home.
1-0. Boscarino down the line. This one is lasered and controlled to retire the side. The Gyrenes will send us to the bottom of the 3rd, separated by a run.
favorite Southeast teams in action, we've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at sesnsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere.
At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we see champions everywhere we look. In every sport, on every court, we're building a foundation to ensure all athletes are safe, supported, and strengthened. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, ending abuse is not just our job. It's our promise.
Welcome back to Waleska, Georgia. That's one way to come back.
Absolutely. Just what Ave Maria wanted to see. Tanner Kelly getting himself going, establishing himself at the plate. Something that took him a while to do yesterday and even longer in the first game.
Now batting number 20, Dakota Jones.
Dakota Jones. Next in the order, this is dealt with authority. Strike one. Got a hold of this, fouled off. For Gyrenes, we're all conference. Tanner Kelly, first team shortstop. Jesus Gonzalez, incredible year at the plate. Jordan Crawford, Hunter Cachero also named all conference selections for the Gyrenes. And this is going to send him out to scoring position at 2 as Jones has walked to 1.
This is the danger zone for the Reinhardt Eagles. Hunter Paulson did such a phenomenal job coming in the last inning. Now all of a sudden allowing the first 2 batters of the third to get on base. Still no outs on the board. A great chance for Ave Maria to extend their lead and put even more pressure on the home team.
Choppered foul. Majdich.
Reinhardt in their game yesterday, just too many mental mistakes to try to beat a team like Loyola, a great, well-rounded, well-coached team. They had 4 errors, hit 5 batters, and had 2 passed balls. Anytime that you string together that many mistakes, it's really difficult to beat anybody, especially a team that's among the best in the country. So Reinhardt trying to clean things up and lock in this matchup against the Gyrenes. Meanwhile, Ave Maria, they were able to save their season yesterday in a back-and-forth seesaw affair against Oakland City.
Got a hold of this. Majdich back towards the wall for the Gyrenes, and this one is going to put him way out in front. An absolute bomb sails over to Alabama. My goodness, look out for Stone Mountain.
Ave Maria, they have all the momentum right now in this game. Taking a 4-run lead against Reinhardt. Reinhardt, the 1 seed coming into this Waleska bracket, but they are absolutely in trouble here in game 1 on Wednesday.
Now batting number 4, Michael Kelly.
fouled off. Kelly puts that into the backstop.
And a lot of times, a team like Reinhardt, who had the kind of season they had, especially the type of year that they had at home, you build up so much armor, it becomes a point where teams don't really believe they can beat you coming into games. But Loyola, maybe they did a nice job of creating some cracks in that armor, and now Ave Maria looks at that game and says, hey, this team can be beat. We can do this. They look like a very confident bunch going up against the top-seeded Eagles right now.
Delivered down for a second ball. Count even at 2.
That point about a war of attrition, having to use guys in different situations.
He'll go down swinging as Reinhardt punches him out. Much needed out as they now trail by 4 runs after 3 scored on a bomb over the left field wall moments ago.
Magdeach and his 3-run shot. But on that war of attrition, it's almost also expecting the unexpected. I mean, who would have came into the game against Loyola yesterday and said, you know what, Andrew Herbert is going to be the one that takes the loss in this game, especially coming into a game with a 12-0 record and a 1.74 ERA. It just shows you cannot expect anything here in the postseason.
Second ball, count 2-1. 1 away for the Reinhardt Eagles.
Crawford trying to get himself going. He flew out to center field. Paulson starting to get himself going now after surrendering that 3-run shot. He's done a nice job of settling back in for the Eagles. Now 2 consecutive strikeouts on the board for him. And it's Cabeza back at the plate. Cabeza at the plate for the first time since his massive home run that got the scoring going for the Gyrenes earlier. That pitch was way inside by Hunter Paulson. Cabeza fouling that one off. Being able to handle adversity is something that, if you're going to win in the postseason, you're going to have to do a great job of. You always know that things aren't always going to go as planned. You have to be able to adjust on the fly and not allow yourself to let that ball roll downhill. That's when dangerous times occur. That pitch is low for ball number 3. There's probably no one here this week that has more experience being able to overcome adversity than the Gyrenes. Ave Maria having one of the more difficult schedules in the country, as we see a swing and a miss from Cabeza and strike number 2. Ave Maria having one of the more difficult schedules in the entire country, and leaving the regular season with wins against several top 10 opponents. Paulson throwing a ball there, allowing Cabeza to take his free pass to first. So now a man on base with The third baseman, Jimmy Coffey, back at the plate for the first time since his line out over to second. And now it does appear that we're going to have another pitching change here from Coach Burton. And I did say that that war of attrition is something where you can expect to see multiple arms in situations, but maybe a little bit earlier than Coach Burton would have liked. It's likely that he did not want to try to do certain things, and we're going to go to break here as Reinhardt's making a move.
Okay.
Welcome to SESN, your ticket to the front row of the sports world, covering local, regional, and national events. We bring the game to you. Feel the excitement of every play, every score, every victory. Get your seat, get on air, and immerse yourself in the heart-pounding action. The Southeast Sports Network, where sports come to life.
Welcome back to Waleska, the presentation of the NAIA opening round live on SESN. And if you're just tuning in, Ave Maria out in front against the top-seeded Reinhardt Eagles, 5-1. All the momentum in the world in favor of the Gyrenes, forcing Coach Burton to make his second pitching change of the afternoon. New man on the mound is number 9, Logan Lynch, the junior from Cartersville, Georgia. And he's gained a reputation as one of the better relief pitchers, not just in the Appalachian Athletic Conference, but in the entire country. Was an all-AAC selection. He's someone that Coach Burton has trusted in a variety of different spots. There's probably not been a bigger spot that he's been in this year than the one he enters right now. 2 outs on the board. Ave Maria ahead by 4 runs. He's going to be tasked with getting them out of this inning and likely trying to help them keep pace for the next innings that come after. So we're going to see how Logan Lynch approaches this one. We're also going to see the Gyrene lineup go up against this very talented arm for the Reinhardt Eagles. And the first man to face Logan Lynch is going to be Jimmy Coffey. Coffey trying to get himself going. So far, 0 for 1 on the day. First pitch from Lynch is a strike. And again, he's been someone who's come up big in different spots for the Reinhardt Eagles. He's been able to take advantage and help them keep pace in games that they were trailing by. I think back to their matchup against Bruton Parker. Lynch going over 5 innings. This one is fouled off by Coffey. Lynch going 5 innings in that contest, allowing Reinhardt to work themselves back into the ball game. So not uncharted territory for Logan Lynch, but again, the situation is definitely much bigger now because the season is on the line. Reinhardt trailing by 4 at home, trying to save the season against a game Gyrene squad. As we see stolen base for the Ave Maria Gyrenes and potentially another one on the way. So that was the pinch runner, Joseph Ferry from Bunnell, Florida, working his way from first to second. The throw was a bit wild, so it allowed him to get himself from second to third. Second error of the game for the Reinhardt Eagles. Reinhardt up to 6 errors between the last 2 games. Very uncharacteristic of a team that's been as disciplined and consistent in the field as Reinhardt's been over the course of this season. Counts 1 and 2. Pitches off the plate for ball number 2. Those mistakes cost Reinhardt major in that matchup against Loyola yesterday. Costed them big time, really gave Loyola the edge in that matchup. We're going to see what happens here. This one popped up into shallow center field. We see Dion underneath it. He retrieves it for out number 3 to retire the side. So Logan Lynch securing out number 3, but the Eagles behind by 4 runs.
Welcome to SESN, your ticket to the front row of the sports world, covering local, regional, and national events. We bring the game to you. Feel the excitement of every play, every score, every victory. Get your seat, get on air, and immerse yourself in the heart-pounding action. The Southeast Sports Network, where sports come to life.
Back here in Waleska, Georgia, NAIA opening round coverage live on SEN Sports. The top-seeded Reinhardt Eagles up against it currently against Ave Maria as we enter the 4th inning. Reinhardt down by 4 runs. Louis Dion coming back up to the plate. Dion 1 for 1 so far today. Had that single earlier in the game. It's not like it's been a bad game for the Reinhardt Eagles. Reinhardt, they have 5 hits in their total. 4 hits, pardon me. They just haven't been able to string runs together. Meanwhile, Ave Maria already with 5 runs. They've matched their total from the first game that these two teams played against each other. And they look primed to do more damage. They're in a nice groove at the plate. That pitch low for ball number 2. Horner remains on the mound. Dion fouls this one off towards the Gyrene dugout. Full count here, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff incoming from Horner. He deals, it's high. Ball number 4, Louis Dion drawing the leadoff walk. Getting himself on base, and Reinhardt trying to get themselves back into it. Ave Maria with a fast start, but the Eagle lineup definitely very capable of making something happen as the Palm Harbor, Florida native Barry Eisman returns to the plate. That pitch right into the zone for strike number 1. Count is 0-2. Horner deals. It gets past the backstop, and Dion takes advantage, gets himself into scoring position. He's now at second. So a mistake for Ave Maria there. That pitch from Horner low, bouncing right off of the turf, and the backstop, Cabeza, was unable to retrieve it before it got around him. Count now 1-2. This one outside and off the plate for ball number 2, and it'll be an interesting dynamic with having a talented and athletic base runner like Luis Dion directly behind Horner. So we'll see what type of attention he will give Dion here, or if he's going to try to keep his focus on Iceman. A ground ball. It's scooped up. The throw is made in time. Out number 1, but now Luis Dion is at third. So Barry Iceman, he goes out, but the Eagles still a chance to bring in at least 1 run here in this inning, just trying to keep pace. Luis Dion stole second, now in a very threatening spot on third base with Luca Boscarino returning to the plate. Pardon me, Juan Pablo Morales returning to the plate for the Eagles. Morales 0 for 1. He was out by way of a fielder's choice in his first plate appearance. Counts 1-0. Horner dealing, popped up by Morales, deep out to right field, going back. It has warning track power, so that's going to be out number 2. But Luis Dion easily scoring from third base. Score is now 5-2 in favor of the Gyrenes. Eagles drawing a little bit closer.
Now batting number 17, Dryden House.
2 outs on the board. Dryden House, the third baseman, coming up to the plate for the Eagles. Dryden House did not appear for Reinhardt in their matchup against Loyola yesterday. It was Cade Sham Lee at third base for most of that game. Also, Adam Harris was inserted into the lineup as a pinch hitter at one point. But House looking to make his mark on the NAIA opening round in a big spot for his Eagles. Right now trailing behind on the count 0-2. 2 outs on the board. Horner looking to retire the side. That pitch high for ball number 1. Count 1-2. This one popped up into the air and fouled off into the net. Ave Maria, very battle-tested team, a squad that has played some of the best in the entire country. They fought their way to get to this spot here in this tournament. Right now giving the Eagles everything they can handle. That pitch from Horner is going to be called a ball. The entire Gyrene team was headed to the dugout after that pitch, trying to influence the umpire, tell him, hey, we're on our way to the dugout. It has to be a strike. We're not on the field anymore. They're now back at their posts. Count knotted up at 2 apiece. Pitch outside and off the plate. Ball number 3. Full count here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. A ball, and House will make that walk to first. A strike will retire the side and give Ave Maria another chance to extend their lead. House hits one that drops into right center field. Dryden House, a single safely on base and keeps this half inning alive. A base hit for Dryden House, getting himself going. And that gets us back to the top of the batting order for the Reinhardt Eagles. The normal leadoff man, Robert Phelps, back at the plate. Still looking to get going right now. 0 for 2 on the game. Grounded out to first in his first plate appearance. He lined out to first in his second. Robert Phelps An addition for the Reinhardt Eagles that's made a major mark in this lineup. Someone that Coach Burton says they actually didn't get on the team until after the fall semester. So someone who came in short order and really established himself as a significant piece to the puzzle for this group. Such an important player both in the field and at the plate. Looking to come up big here for Reinhardt. That pitch is outside for a ball. And Horner, his ERA right above 5, but pitcher who's had his moments over the course of this year, facing a very difficult schedule along with the rest of his team. And he has experience going up against some really talented players, some talented lineups, so he's not going to be afraid facing off against this Reinhardt group. Him and his team, they understand what is at stake, trying to punch their ticket to the opening round championship series that's set to begin later on today. So we had a conversation there between first team all-conference selection Tanner Kelly and his pitcher Horner. Talking shop a little bit, discussing strategy, trying to secure this third out. And whatever Kelly told him seems to have worked, because the next pitch after the conversation is a strike. Count now 2-1. And we see there little laissez-faire attempt over there at 1 with Cade Sham Lee now in as a pinch runner. This one hit deep by Phelps, going back, and into the glove of Van Leer for out number 3. Phelps falls to 0 for 3 on the day. Eagles still behind 5-2.
Want to watch your favorite Southeast teams in action? We've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at sesnsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere. Catch the most thrilling moments from your favorite local teams, only on the Southeast Sports Network. From jaw-dropping touchdowns to game-winning goals, we bring you all the highlights that make the Southeast the heart of sports. Don't miss out. Tune in anytime, anywhere, and relive the action like never before. The action lives on our YouTube channel, but you can watch highlights many different ways by visiting our website. The Southeast Sports Network, where every play matters.
Welcome back to Waleska, Georgia, the presentation of the NAIA opening round live on SCSN. Logan Lynch remains on the mound for the Reinhardt Eagles. The Ave Maria Gyrenes still ahead, 5-2. Reinhardt, they were able to score a run. Louis Dion being brought home by Dryden House. Nonetheless, Gyrenes still holding the advantage, and they're going to try to put themselves in position to extend their lead in need of a little bit of insurance. You can't be happy with a 3-run lead against this Reinhardt team. You're probably a bit excited to be ahead at the moment, but you know that it's not safe when you have a team that's capable of scoring runs in bunches. Logan Lynch dealing This one hit right towards the Gyrene dugout. This is Van Leer at the plate. Van Leer grounded out to first in his last plate appearance.
One, two. Choppered right over the top of the mound. Safe at one.
We've seen Ave Maria get that initial guy on base on a few separate occasions in this game. That puts early pressure on a team defensively as well as a pitcher. It also gives you some options on offense. You can play some small ball, maybe go with some sacrifice flies, see if you can advance those runners and give you a better chance to score. Back to the top of the batting order for the Gyrenes. This is Jesus Gonzalez back at the plate. His last plate appearance, a rare strikeout. Hunter Paulson was able to get him out, but Gonzalez, great hitters like him, they have short-term memory. He's ready to make his mark now.
Two-oh. Look out. Comes off the front of the Eagles' dugout.
Logan Lynch secured that last out in the previous inning. We'll see if Ave Maria can get a handle on him here.
Ball three.
Reinhardt hoping to get more of what they saw in that last inning from Lynch. Very similar to what Hunter Paulson was able to do when he came in. Unfortunately, and that one didn't sound good, to say the least.
Hopefully he's all right. Trying to walk it off down to first.
Two men on with Ave Maria. They've been effective getting runners on base and then bringing them home. Sounds like a very minute thing, but those minute details, all the difference in the world in postseason baseball.
I'm just shocked at how awful it's been.
Choppered across. And he slides into third, safe. Coming home for the Gyrenes. There's the play. The ball's loose, going down to three, and safe there as well. Back to two into scoring position and on board. My goodness. Fumbling the bag as the Gyrenes round the base path freely.
And I feel like we need a breather after that one. That was a lot going on that play. The dust is going to settle. Ave Maria now up by 4 runs, but man, what a sequence there.
20, Dakota Jones.
I can say I've been very surprised at how disjointed Reinhardt's been in the field at times. There have been some uncharacteristic mistakes that they've made, things that you're not used to seeing, and it really seems like Ave Maria is starting to get even more aggressive on the base paths and try to put pressure on Reinhardt after that performance they had yesterday.
With one away, the 0-1. Yikes.
Okay, so Reinhardt had 4 errors and hit 5 batters yesterday. Now they're up to 2 errors and 2 batters hit in this game. And those mistakes add up. Those mistakes really put you in a bad spot. They saw it happen in their game against Loyola, now rearing its ugly head again against the Gyrenes.
Magdic already cranked one to blow this thing wide open. Magdic through the infield. Gyrenes across over to first, and this is in time as they turn the double and retire the side. 4-run game as we head to the 5th between the Eagles and Gyrenes.
The Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire Tablet with just a few clicks.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
A truck is a tool, but a ram is life. Yeah, it's the wipe the sweat off your brow sort of life. But it's also the let's load up the ATV's life. The my kids play way too many sports life.
Back at Ken White Field in Waleska, Georgia, college baseball on SCSN as Mantooth will lead off for the Reinhardt Eagles on this side. Gabriel Schrein, Lorenzo Robinson. Elimination game between Maria and Reinhardt. The winner stays for one more game against the Loyola Wolfpack. The loser packs their bags.
Well, if the loser's Reinhardt, I don't think they'll have to pack their bags. They'll probably just go back to their rooms, since it's at home. But the point still stands. Loser leaves town match for sure. Just an aside right there.
2-0 becomes 2-1 with a strike.
Mantooth has been by far Reinhardt's most productive player at the plate so far in this game. 2 for 2, a homer and a single. We'll see if Horner kind of approaches him a little bit differently, going up against him a third time. Not really wanting to give him something easy. See if he chases at something.
Mantooth down the line. On board at first for Reinhardt.
Yeah, so it seemed like there was some initial confusion. He was looking at the umpire was looking at him, and then the umpire says, hey, take it. So Nash Kroll with a man on base, a recipe for great things for the Eagles all season long. Right now, Kroll still looking for his first major play at the plate today.
Fouled off for strike one. Now the 0-1. Kroll gets a hold of it. Floated and controlled. One away for the Gyrenes of Ave Maria.
Runner on base. It would have been a great chance there for Nash Kroll to, if not take 1 yard, just be able to advance man-tooth and put another man on for the Eagles, but just not meant to be here. It seems like those key pivotal moments in this game and yesterday's game as well, Reinhardt, they just have not been able to show up in those key spots.
Popped up. And the Gyrenes get underneath of it. 2 away. Vargas back to the dugout.
1-2 punch of Kroll and Vargas. They've been so difficult to deal with all season long.
Now batting number 8, Luca
So far today, between the two of them, 0 for 5. A few flyouts and a strikeout of Nash Kroll from Horner. You got to give him a ton of credit. He is unfazed going up against the talent in this Reinhardt lineup.
Boscarino watches that paint the corner for strike 1. Through the infield, he could be in trouble down at 1, and he is. That'll retire the side for the Gyrenes of Ave Maria and send us to the bottom of the 5th.
Want to watch your favorite Southeast teams in action? We've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at sesnsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere. Catch the most thrilling moments from your favorite local teams, only on the Southeast Sports Network. From jaw-dropping touchdowns to game-winning goals, we bring you all the highlights that make the Southeast the heart of sports. Don't miss out. Tune in anytime, anywhere, and relive the action like never before. The action lives on our YouTube channel, but you can watch highlights many different ways by visiting our website. The Southeast Sports Network, where every play matters.
Back in North Georgia, 6-2 4-run game. Kelly will lead off on this side.
Michael Kelly struggled yesterday, but he was able to get himself going earlier in this game. Right there, some members of the Reinhardt crowd trying to provide some energy for their team. It seems like the Eagles don't have that same bounce in their step that we're used to seeing, especially when they play at home. I don't know what kind of factor that is right now.
0-1, zipped low to even our count at 1. Watches that go by for a second ball. Lynch delivers this. Ball 3. Driven across the right side, and he'll be on board at first for the Gyrenes.
The second hit of the game for Michael Kelly after going 0 for 6 in the matchup against Oakland City. Kelly firmly establishing himself as a force at the plate against the Eagles. And yet again, Ave Maria getting that leadoff guy on base. And you can see the strategy of trying to do that has worked. They have scored runs in each inning thus far, trying to keep that going with Crawford coming up next.
Hustling out to 2, and he slides in time. He's safe.
Again, the Gyrenes being aggressive, trying to put Reinhardt in tough situations. You could see Kelly just inching over and immediately making that mad dash. Ave Maria in total control against the top-ranked Eagles.
1-0 as this is going to paint just under the zone for ball 2.
If that Loyola game was looked at as an upset, what a major upset this would be. And that's not to down anything that Ave Maria has done over the course of this year. If you just take it from a record standpoint and just on paper, Ave Maria coming into this game with a 28-26 record, Reinhardt at 42-12. You will believe that Reinhardt is supposed to be the ones to come out on top. Ave Maria, they made a habit of shocking some of the best in the country.
3-0s. This goes for strike 1 just through the bottom portion of the zone.
Crawford would love to make something happen here. 0 for 2 so far on the day.
Steps and delivers this under the zone, and he'll walk. On board at first, Crawford. Cabeza follows him in the order. He's 1 for 1 in this game.
Now batting number 12, Sebastian Cabeza.
And that one was a big one, that big-time homer that Cabeza had earlier. That 3-run shot really has been all the difference for Ave Maria thus far. That picked up their momentum. You can feel the flip of the script immediately when it happened.
Floated. This time he's in trouble. Diving to make the play. Incredible.
Incredible is putting it mildly. That was a tremendous play. Logan Lynch leaving his spot on the mound, going right along that third base line to retrieve that ball.
There's another look at it. That is the replay. Incredible play.
Dare I say a web jump from Logan Lynch.
Now batting number 1, Jimmy Coffey.
Coffey next in the order. He's 0 for 2 in this game. One away, 2 on board. Lead runner in scoring position at 2. This is roped over the top, the bloop. A ton of space for the Gyrenes as he's down to third and will stay put there. The base is loaded for Ave Maria.
And it's been all Gyrenes so far here in Waleska. Absolutely taking it to the number 1 team in the bracket. Now 8 different players with hits so far in this game. It's just been an offensive showcase here for Ave Maria today.
One away, bases loaded. Gyrenes lead by 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th. looking to extend it even further. This is an elimination game.
We talked all week about those margins for error being extremely slim this time of year.
Gyrene send this back left side off of the chain link, and here they come. Another run scores, extending it to a 5-run lead, and now 6 for Ave Maria. Play over a third, trying to cut him down, and the Reinhardt Eagles fired up the Gyrenes. What a big lead for Ave Maria.
Van Leer, 3 RBI triple, bases clearing triple. They are firmly in control. How about a shocker? The Gyrenes now ahead, 9 runs to 2. The run rule is 10 at 7. Definitely never something that I would think that I would even think about as something that's possible for this Reinhardt team, especially when they're at home.
Eight-run advantage for the Gyrenes of Ave Maria. The 1-0.
Yeah, we initially said 9-2, but it's actually going to be called 10-2 after an error. Likely an obstruction of the base path, allowing Van Leer to make his way home. So an inside the park home run, really, from Van Leer. Reinhardt is capable of scoring runs in bunches, but it will be an uphill battle from here. Gyrenes in control, Eagles backs against the wall. This is probably the last man that they want to see at the plate right now, and Jesus Gonzalez, what he's been able to do this week.
Sent across the infield, goes foul. The Gyrenes a massive advantage.
Massive advantage. Again, the run rule is 10 runs after 7. Didn't even think that would be something you would even consider for this Reinhardt group at home. But that's the position that Ave Maria has put them in.
And the payoff pitch certainly does, but for the Gyrenes, as he'll be on board with only 1 away.
So a man on again, Jesus Gonzalez, and another active and athletic base runner, so you know that stealing will be an option for him. We'll see how much attention Reinhardt will pay to that. With Tanner Kelly coming back up to the plate, Kelly has really gotten himself going. This is the Tanner Kelly we saw all season long.
Through the infield, this is controlled and sent across to second. That'll send him back to the dugout. They needed that.
In a major way, and when that ball leaked out of Dion's glove, initially you would wonder how the umpire was going to call it, but they're going to say that Gonzalez brushed against Dion and forced that ball to pop out. A break there for the Eagles when they really needed one.
Two away in the bottom of the fifth. The Gyrenes have scored 4 runs on this side of the inning.
Jones stepped up for Ave Maria yesterday. He's done so as well today. He has a single on the board. Ave Maria trying to spark a 2-out rally here.
Gloved, sent to first, and that'll retire the side as Kroll is on the bag. 8-run advantage for Ave Maria and the Gyrenes.
Welcome to SESN, your ticket to the front row of the sports world, covering local, regional, and national events. We bring the game to you. Feel the excitement of every play, every score, every victory. Get your seat, get on air, and immerse yourself in the heart-pounding action. The Southeast Sports Network, where sports come to life.
At Ken White Field, an 8-run advantage for the Ave Maria Gyrenes as we have flipped sides. Top of the 6th.
And if you're just joining us, how about this for a shocker? Ave Maria 10, Reinhardt 2. Who had that on their opening round bingo card?
This is rolled through the infield and he loses it safely at first. Dion.
And we'll see how it gets called officially. It might be called an E6 there, an error on Kelly. Tried to scoop it up, was not able to corral it cleanly, allowing Dion to reach. So it will be officially scored as a hit. It was a nice attempt by Kelly. He tried to contort his body to make a throw, and it would have been a crazy play. Dion able to leg it out and take advantage.
Drives that, pinballs off into the backstop, and so our lead runner, Dion, advances into scoring position at second.
Eagles taking advantage of a passed ball. Now a few mistakes from the Gyrenes. If you make too many mistakes, you run the risk of allowing Reinhardt to start to catch their breath, collect themselves, and get into a rhythm. Definitely not something they want to see with Dion in scoring position.
Horner delivers. Got a hold of this, driven over the top. The blooper gives some time to the Reinhardt Eagles as he'll be on the corner. Runners on the corners for Reinhardt University.
Louis Dion now 2 for 3 on the day. Very good sight if you're a Reinhardt fan, especially after some of the struggles that he had yesterday. He's gotten going. The bats are alive for Reinhardt. They have 7 hits on the board, but they're just not getting those key plays in order to drive something home.
Meeting on top of the mound will bust up. Ready to get back underway between these two sides. Horner on top of the mound.
Now batting number 16, Juan Pablo Morales.
This cuts through the bottom of the zone. Strike one. Reinhardt with a pair on board, trailing 8-run advantage.
So now runners at the corners, men on base. We're going to see if the Eagles can take advantage of this here. It would be huge for them to try to string a few of them together.
Popped up. Left field. Got under it. Reinhardt's man, Dion, tags up and wanted to come home, but he'll have to stay put as they get that back in quickly.
That was a wise decision by Dion. You know he probably wanted to go, but just decided not to there.
Now batting number 11, Paige Shamley.
With one away, Kate Shamley. Roped through the infield. Onto it, sent across in time to first for the Gyrenes, who turn this. Gyrenes cooking with gas in Waleska, an 8-run advantage.
Favorite Southeast teams in action? We've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at sesnsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere.
At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we see champions everywhere we look. In every sport, on every court, we're building a foundation to ensure all athletes are safe, supported, and strengthened. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, ending abuse is not just our job. It's our promise.
So a change on top of the mound for the Reinhardt Eagles. Maybe it'll spark them. They have been struggling against the Gyrenes, to put it lightly. 8 runs, the advantage for Ave Maria.
And that's going to be Brent Turley in the game for Reinhardt, the native of Prattville, Alabama, formerly of West Alabama University. Senior righty, someone who is not a normal part of their rotation, but he's come in certain spots and stepped up when they needed him.
Quickly delivers a second strike.
This is Mag Deach for the first time since his homer.
Controlled, picked up and sent to first, and the play is going to be made in time.
If you're Reinhardt, you're already trailing by 8 runs. You need to do everything in your power to try to keep Ave Maria at 10. You've already put yourself in a hole. The last thing you want to do is dig it even deeper, especially with that run rule looming.
2 strikes quickly. This one sent across. He's going to be in trouble over at first and cut down. In time for the Reinhardt Eagles, who have quickly put 2 away in the bottom of the 6th.
Now batting number 13, Jordan Crawford.
So Brent Turley, he's done a good job of settling things down for Reinhardt, getting those 2 quick outs in short order. Trying to retire the side here as the Eagles look to scratch and claw their way back into this ball game.
Strike 2.
Crawford still looking for his first hit, 0 for 2 thus far. How about the job Ave Maria has done at the plate? 10 runs, 10 hits on the board. Just a dominant offensive showcase so far.
And he'll go down swinging as the side quickly turned by the Reinhardt Eagles. And we'll keep it here to look around the nation and get an update on what's going on in different brackets around us. First, starting with a look on SESN at Kingsport. Starting in Kingsport, Tennessee. You can tune into that on SESN as well. Matt Kibbe on the call. 4-3, Phoenix leading the Warriors by a run. We'll now check in on Talladega and St. Xavier. They are just getting started in that matchup, what promises to be a very good one between those two sides. Excited to see all the action from Georgia Gwinnett. Macu and Johnson. Johnson and AAC team conference teammates with Reinhardt University. That one has gone to break. We'll get the scoring update later on. Promises to be a barn burner between those two sides.
Robert Phelps, the leadoff man for the Eagles, still looking to make something happen at the plate. 0 for 3 so far. Reinhardt running out of time to come up with a rally.
Eagles are in some danger of being run ruled.
Yeah, and I feel like I've never even thought of that as an option against this team, especially at home. It's just how dominant they've been here as well.
Strike 1, count 3-1. Phelps. Horner delivers. Phelps down the line, left side. Controlled, sent across to first in time. He's punched out.
That was a tremendous play there by Coffey over at third to make that throw. Those small things have been the difference. Reinhardt, they've had a few mistakes on routine plays. For the most part, Ave Maria, they made the routine look routine today. Sometimes that's all you need to do to give yourself the best possible chance to win.
Mantooth smoked a home run earlier. Watch as this go by. Strike one. Mantooth fouls off. Eight runs separate us in the top of the seventh, the 0-2. Mantooth down the line, perfectly struck out to the chain link, and he'll be safely on board at first with no problems.
And no matter what happens today, no matter what the result is, you can confidently say that Jacob Mantooth has left it all out on the field for his team. He moves to 3 for 3 on the day,
Now batting number
performing
30,
valiantly for
Nash
Reinhardt in the face of adversity. Right now, it's just a question of who's going to join him as they try to get themselves back into it.
Horner fires this for the ball. One away already for Ave Maria.
Reinhardt, 3 guys with multiple hits so far in this game. Mantooth with 3. Dion and Iceman both with 2. So far, Nash Kroll 0 for trying to get himself going.
2-0, Kroll bangs this down the left field line. Lots of space for the Eagles. And Mantooth in scoring position at second. He's 3 for 3 on the day. Kroll now 1 for 3.
All of a sudden, the crowd's starting to get into it. The dugout's starting to stand on their feet. Guys are starting to feel the energy a little bit. They're feeling like there's a chance. They just needed a few plays to build a little bit of momentum. Now, we will see what happens from here. Horner has done a great job over the course of this game of getting himself out of situations. Will he even get a chance to get himself out of this situation? We'll see.
They're going to have a meeting on top of the mound. We'll keep it here, but we'll look around. In a break in Kingsport, Tennessee with Matthew Kibbe. Taking a look at Talladega and St. Xavier. 1-0 Talladega College Tornadoes out in front of St. Xavier in the top of the first. That's a quick start. And Johnson taking on Maku. That one is 4-2. Johnson Royals lead in the bottom of the fourth. All in the battle for the Red Banner. Wide margin, 8 runs in Molesca, Georgia, separating us. The Ave Maria Gyrenes way out in front. Reinhardt looking to dig a couple back. Right now, 2 on board. That's your lead runner, Mantooth, who's at second in scoring position. Kroll is at first. Horner. Right near the feet of Vargas.
Reinhardt, they've been able to get some guys on base over the course of this game, but not able to really make much happen. Again, a ton of credit to Horner for how he's performed, as well as the infield for Ave Maria. They seem to be on a string and making all the necessary plays.
That rattles through the turf for a second ball. 1 away already in the top of the 7th.
How rare is it for a team to have 9 hits on the board but only 2 runs scored?
That's unheard of.
Definitely not something you see every day.
2-1. Controlled, floated, looking for the blooper, and he got it in center field to retire a second and keep the Eagles in place on the base path.
Vargas now 0 for 4 on the day. A day to forget for him at the plate, as has been for most of the players that are a part of Reinhardt's lineup. Just not enough consistent contributions from this team at the moment. Again, 7 of their hits have come courtesy of 3 guys, Dion, Iceman, and Mantu.
Rolling fair down the line, it goes foul.
Look on Ave Maria's face, you can tell they've been here before. They know what it feels like to beat one of the best teams in the country at their place. This isn't uncharted territory for them.
This one with some authority towards the left field wall and sails on it.
And there's something to be said about that, about knowing what it feels like to beat teams like Reinhardt. When you play against a Southeastern, you play against a Weber, you play against defending champion Hope International and come out on top in those contests. That gives you the type of confidence that they have in this game, and that made them a very dangerous team to face off with in the opening round.
In 2023, the Gyrenes got to the final game of the opening round, but they were eliminated. They've never been to the national championship, the World Series. This would be the first time in team history if they can turn all 3 games.
And I can say that a team that has shown themselves
got a hold of it. Down the left field line, trouble at home for the Gyrenes and Eagles as he slides across and is safe to get a run back. 7 separates us in Waleska.
Big by Luca Boscarino, his first hit of the ball game, an RBI single. And how about the hustle from Mantu to come up with a run, allowing Reinhardt to draw a little bit closer. But more on that point, a team that has shown itself to be able to compete with and beat top competition. Always a struggle to go against because you're not going to have that fear factor. You know that they're going to come and play a certain way. They know that all they have to do is stick to their game plan and do what they do.
Welcome to SESN, your ticket to the front row of the sports world, covering local, regional, and national events. We bring the game to you. Feel the excitement of every play, every score, every victory. Get your seat, get on air, and immerse yourself in the heart-pounding action. The Southeast Sports Network, where sports come to life.
Opening round coverage live on SESN. Right now, the Ave Maria Gyrenes on the verge of a monumental upset over the Reinhardt Eagles. They're ahead 10 runs to 3. It's going to be a pitching change for the Gyrenes. Very phenomenal, spectacular effort from Warner. He go 6 2/3 innings of work, going up against the talented Reinhardt lineup, only surrendering 3 earned runs. Got to give him a lot of credit for how he was able to perform. Confounded this Reinhardt group. So now it's going to be a new arm out there for the Gyrenes. It's number 19, Alex Nickler. Nickler, the lefty, a senior from Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, formerly of Cardinal Newman High School. And he will face off against Louis Dion. Dion having another great game for Reinhardt, 2 for 2 on the day. I said it earlier, Reinhardt, 7 combined hits from just 3 members of their lineup, Mantooth, Dion, and Barry Iceman. Right now, Reinhardt potentially in a big spot where they can add more runs to their total. 2 men on, Boscarino at first, Kroll in scoring position at second, but 2 outs on the board. Nickler trying to retire the side. Count now stands at 2-1. That pitch low for ball number 3. There you can kind of hear the competing reactions. Reinhardt and their faithful happy about that call. Ave Maria definitely confused about it, thought it was a strike. Nonetheless, our count stands at 3-1. Dion watches that one, and he will make his way to first, loading the bases for the Reinhardt Eagles. What an opportunity here for a 2-out rally, and it's going to be Barry Iceman now coming up to the plate.
Barry Iceman.
Iceman is 2 for 3 so far in this game, a pair of singles. This will be a big spot here for him to help Reinhardt add runs to their total. They have 3 guys on, 2 outs on the board. Nickler in need of just 1 more out to retire the side and leave all 3 runners stranded. Ave Maria built up this lead with very timely hitting and a phenomenal outing from Cameron Horner. Right now, way out in front against the top seed in the Waleska bracket, the home team in the Waleska bracket, the Reinhardt Eagles. Reinhardt, they had 4 errors in their matchup against Loyola yesterday, 3 errors today against the Gyrenes. That pitch goes for ball number 2. Reinhardt, a team that is not accustomed to making the type of unforced mistakes that they've made over these past 2 games. Again, postseason baseball, expect the unexpected. The 2-1 here. Iceman hits one that goes right into the hands of Michael Kelly. A phenomenal play made by him at 2. That will retire the side. Reinhardt still way behind. Gyrenes in control. 10-3.
The Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire tablet with just a few clicks.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster.
NAIA opening round coverage here live on SESN. Right now, the Reinhardt Eagles are in trouble, trailing 10-3 against the 4th-seeded Ave Maria Gyrenes. Coming into the NAIA opening round, Reinhardt 5th in the country in the top 25. A team that was pegged as a hosting institution for the opening round. The heavy favorite to leave the Waleska region and head to Lewiston. Right now, they are in danger of being eliminated by the Ave Maria Gyrenes, who finished only 2 games above 500 after the regular season. Brent Turley remains on the mound for the Reinhardt Eagles. He's going to face off and do battle with Cabeza, who lined out to first in his last plate appearance. He does have a homer that came earlier in the game. Turley's pitch is inside for ball number 3. Cabeza's ahead on the count, 3-1. He already drew a walk earlier in this game, and he chops at that one. It goes foul into the net. Full count here in what is a beautiful day here at Ken White Field. We had some issues with weather over the course of the first 2 days, but outside of a little bit of cloud cover, definitely a great day for baseball. This one a chopper. Phelps retrieves it, throws it to Kroll. Kroll jumps. Does he go for the tag? Does he get it? Umpire says he does. Nice athletic play there from Nash Kroll, leaping in the air to get that tag out. So Cabeza will make his way back to the dugout. 1 out on the board for the Eagles here in the bottom of the 7th inning. So now it's going to be Coffey, the third baseman, at the plate. This one hit into the infield. Turley trying to make a play. The throw is made. It is in time for out number 2. And that one got a rousing ovation from the Reinhardt crowd. Turley barehanding it, flipping it up, throwing it to Kroll, and securing the out.
Now batting number 22, Kyle Van Leer.
So Kyle Van Leer now coming up to the plate. This the first time he's been at the plate since his inside the park home run that really broke this game open for Ave Maria. Initially appeared to be a bases clearing triple, but a base path obstruction resulted in the umpire allowing him to reach home. Pitch low for ball number 2. And that play resulting in 4 runs scored for Ave Maria turned out to be the biggest inflection point in this game as Van Leer fouls this one off towards the Reinhardt dugout. But again, that's been the difference in the game, those small plays, those minute details. Ave Maria, they've been on top of all of them so far as this one has popped up into the infield. Great throw by Phelps to tag, made by Nash Kroll for out number 3. Some nice fielding from the Reinhardt Eagles. They're doing everything they can to stay alive, but still way behind, 10-3.
Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire tablet with just a few clicks.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Back at Ken White Field in North Georgia between the Eagles of Reinhardt and the Gyrenes of Ave Maria. I'm Gabriel Schrein, Lorenzo Robinson here with me. Glad you're along for the ride. This one coming down to the closing stages.
And we're here in the championship innings, so to speak, entering the top of the 8th inning. Reinhardt in danger of being eliminated at home against Ave Maria in dominant fashion. The Gyrenes, they have just been all over the Eagles in this one.
Controlled, floated, and this one on the edge of the infield, one away for Ave Maria.
And that was number 26, Ryan Stevens, who entered the game as the backstop in that previous half inning. His first at bat, not able to make something happen.
Flew out.
All of a sudden, the Eagles down to their final 5 outs potentially to make something happen. Next, Nicola remaining in the game for Ave Maria. Reinhardt has cycled through a few different arms. So far, Ave Maria only 2 pitchers in this game.
2-0. Paints the corner for strike one.
Cade Shamlee grounded into a double play in his last plate appearance.
Two 2-1. Count even at 2. Two with one away. This is low, and it fills our count.
Cade Shamlee, he's come up big on numerous occasions for Reinhardt over the course of this year. This the biggest spot of the season for him.
Payoff pitch will walk him. Free place on first base.
You know, sometimes it's not the plays that you make. It's the plays that you don't make. Deciding not to chase at that one, a wise decision for Shamlee, allowing him to get on board. Now first team All-AAC Robert Phelps back at the plate.
Ball one with one away and one on board. If you're tuned in from somewhere interesting, we'd love to hear about it. Tag us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at SchryGuy, SCHRAYGUY, LCRob75.
That's good. That's good.
Good memory, right?
That means a lot to me, man.
Love you too.
That means a lot to me, man.
Don't have too much fun. No fun allowed on SCSN. No fun zone.
Nothing but fun here on SCSN.
In a break in Kingsport, Tennessee. That one is 4-3 in the top of the 8th. We'll flip to Talladega and St. Xavier and see what's going on. That one is 2-0. Talladega College Tornado out in front. And Johnson taking on Maku. Let's see what the tally is in Georgia Gwinnett. 5-4. They've come from behind. 3 runs scored as they're now into the top of the 5th in Game 7 of the Shreveport bracket. Really good one. Ready to play on here in Waleska. Seven runs separate us. The Eagles, the host of this site, facing elimination.
Not just facing elimination, but at risk of being at the hands of a dominant performance from the other team.
So 2 in a row walked, and that'll flip the script a little bit.
What I can say, and I say this from personal experience during my time as an
Now
athlete.
batting number 12, Jacob Mantu.
You know, losing is one thing, but you definitely want to go out on your shield, so to speak. You want to go out giving everything you have, fighting into the end. Of course, Reinhardt, they're not going to say die. They always believe they have a chance, and they should with all the talent in that lineup.
Reinhardt Eagles, 2 on board. This is Mantooth, who is perfect today, 3 for 3, including a solo shot.
And you can hear Brett Allen just continuing to be the active presence he's been in that dugout. Love to see that. Always the same person, no matter what the situation is. Oh, he also happens to be a pretty good baseball player, too.
Gets it done. Count even at 1. That's Sales for ball 2. Huge fan of the Windows error sound over the loudspeaker.
Hey, Windows was a time. I caught the tail end of it.
Strike 2, count even at 2 with 1 away. On the right side of your screen, that's Phelps standing at first, at second. Number 11, standing by, Chamley. The delivery caught him on the hip, and so the bases are loaded with 1 away in the top of the 8th.
And you can hear it from some of the fans in attendance. You know that they're waiting with bated breath to see this man come up to the plate in this situation. Who else would you rather have on this team with the bases loaded, trailing, than Nash Kroll? This is what he does. This is what he's done over the course of his career. This is what he's done over the course of this season. We're going to see what happens here, as it appears that they're going to try to give him a different look maybe, or this would just be a...
Want to watch your favorite Southeast teams in action? We've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at sesnsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere. Catch the most thrilling moments from your favorite local teams, only on the Southeast Sports Network. From jaw-dropping touchdowns to game-winning goals, we bring you all the highlights that make the Southeast the heart of sports. Don't miss out. Tune in anytime, anywhere, and relive the action like never before. The action lives on our YouTube channel, but you can watch highlights many different ways by visiting our website. The Southeast Sports Network, where every play matters.
Top of the 8th inning. One away and the bases loaded between these two sides. Glad you're with us. Gabriel Schrei, Lorenzo Robinson. Just a reminder, you can learn more about the NAIA's Right Way to Play campaign, NAIA.org. And a quick look before we get back underway at all of the baseball teams that punched their ticket to the national tournament. You said it before the break, and I think you said it very well. The Reinhardt fans have to be exuberant, overjoyed, thrilled for Nash Kroll to be the man at bat with the bases loaded late in this game with a big margin. But Lorenzo, I'll do you one better. As a sports fan, as a commentator, I don't think it gets better than this.
Absolutely, and I compare it to when last out of the game in the World Baseball Classic this past season, it was Mike Trout versus Shohei Ohtani with a championship on the line. I mean, these are the type of moments you want to see. You want to see the best in these situations.
That rattles off, and the count even at 1.
Now, it will be a new pitcher on the mound tasked with slowing down Nash Kroll, number 27, Owen Johnson from Port Huron, Michigan, formerly of Concordia University.
The 1-1 skeeters across the turf.
And if I'm a pitcher, I'm almost considering not giving him anything to hit and potentially allowing Reinhardt to score a run. Because if he takes it yard, that's 4 runs, and all of a sudden Reinhardt's right back in the game.
Owen Johnson for Port Huron. Kroll down the line, controlled across, trying to turn the double. Bang, bang, bang. That is a 5-4-3 to retire the side, as we'll return with more action between the Gyrenes of Ave Maria and Reinhardt Eagles.
The Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire Tablet with just a few clicks.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
A truck is a tool.
Welcome back. 7 runs separate us. Oh, it's frozen. The delivery, it's 10-3. Ave Maria Gyrenes are way out in front as we've entered the bottom side of the inning. And they're just looking to close this out. And only 3 outs away from the big win. Floated a little bloop over the bag at 2. He's on board at first and will stay put.
And they're already ahead by 7 runs, so anything else would just be gravy at this point. Reinhardt on the brink of elimination, but if Ave Maria is able to go up by 10 runs here, that will be the conclusion of the game here in the 8th. So a lot riding on this half inning for the Eagles, and you can tell Coach Burton knows it, as he's going to make a move on the mound.
So while he's out on the mound and they meet up, we'll take a look. Hunter Wright Stadium, 5-3 Phoenix of Cumberland leading the Warriors of Indiana Tech. We'll also take a peek at what's going on between Talladega and St. Xavier. They've got a dog. We have no dogs. We are significantly lacking for dogs on our broadcast. The score there is 2-0. Tornadoes out in front. Maccoon Johnson, last time we checked in, the score had changed big time. And again, we've got to change there. 6-4, a 2-run advantage. Mid-America Christian is out in front in the bottom of the fifth over the Royals of Johnson. Really good one. Fans on standby, having a good time. Beautiful sunshiny day for baseball in North Georgia. And the only team in the top 10 in this bracket, the Reinhardt University Eagles. In the final poll of the NAI, this is a look at your top 10 teams in America. Reinhardt University finished at number 5. Number 13 was the Wolfpack of Loyola, who are awaiting the winner of this game.
Absolutely, right on the outside looking in, but they beat a top 10 team in William Carey to take their conference tournament championship. Meanwhile, Ave Maria, victories over 3 members of the top 10. So even though it's only one representative, top 10 is not unfamiliar territory for our members of the bracket.
22, Brock Weiss.
Brock Weiss on top of the mound. He'll deal the rock. Play out at 2, sliding into scoring position. He's safe. Gyrenes are looking to be done with this here.
Jesus Gonzalez getting himself in the scoring position. I'm not entirely sure if we do opening round MVP, but if there was one to give, I don't know how you can give it to anyone other than Jesus Gonzalez. Gonzalez did a lot to try to carry the offense for the Gyrenes yesterday, but it's absolutely helped him and this team by Tanner Kelly having one of his best games of the week here today.
Got a hold of this. And trouble for the Reinhardt Eagles. This is collected out along the chain link as another run comes home for the Gyrenes and another in scoring position at second.
And right on cue, yet again, the all-conference first-team pair of Gonzalez and Kelly stepping up again for the Gyrenes. First, Gonzalez getting himself on with a single. Kelly bringing him on home with an RBI double. Ave Maria getting dangerously close to that 10-run mark.
Eight runs separate us. He'll dish from on top of the mound. The 1-0 evens our count at 1.
And I'm sure around the country we'll have a lot of games that'll come as shocking upsets. That's what the playoffs are for. That's what the postseason is about. I don't think there's been a result more shocking than the one that we're seeing right now, with Ave Maria firmly in the driver's seat, trying to head to that opening round championship series.
Waiting the 2-1. Jones lets that go by, and it evens our count at 2. Popped. He's in trouble. Controlled by our 6, who gets under it and gloves it.
Now batting number 38, Kyle Magdeach.
Magdeach will take over. And again, the game ends if Ave Maria can just get home 2 more runs here. Magdeach has already cranked one today. That goes by for strike 1 with 1 away. There's your lead runner, the game winner, standing at home. Oh, 1. Huge cut for strike 2. The winner of this game will go on and take on the Loyola New Orleans Wolfpack, who await them in the 5 p.m. game. We'll have full coverage of that available for you as well. Looking forward to welcoming everyone back for what should be a really good final matchup. And of course, if the winner of this game were to win that game this evening, it forces an extra what-if game tomorrow for the championship in this opening round series to go on to Lewiston.
Absolutely, Loyola putting themselves in the driver's seat with that 7-6 victory over this Reinhardt team yesterday. And that's why it's so important to try to stay in that winner's bracket. That game decided by 1 run. Now you're in an uphill battle. If you come out and have a game like Reinhardt, unfortunately for them, has had today in this first matchup against Ave Maria, your season can be done. Loyola was able to erase any fear of that by taking care of business yesterday.
Sliding into third, ball's loose, he'll stay put.
Weiss able to record that strikeout there. 2 outs on the board, and we're going to see what the conversation is going to be. Coach Burton coming out to the field. Wonder what's happening here. And I believe that's Coach Burton, and
it's the coaches.
This is an interesting situation. Definitely want to try to get everyone to calm down here. You don't want this to turn ugly. See the passion that all these sides have, and
Are you the athletic director too? Hey, come on. Good example, right? Beautiful.
like I think we should. Not a great sight there. You want sportsmanship at the end of the day. You want everyone to compete and play hard, but you never want to see any scenes like that where tensions get high to the point where it's on the verge of getting out of hand. So hopefully everything gets situated with that. We know the passion is there on all sides. Everyone very amped up and a lot on the line, and you know that it means so much to these players, these coaches. I just want to try to keep everything in balance. I'm very glad that everything was able to die down without turning ugly there. great programs, their second game going up against each other, so a lot of familiarity between these sides, especially after the tense nature of their first matchup. So go to break here with Ave Maria still ahead by 8 runs.
Welcome to SESN, your ticket to the front row of the sports world, covering local, regional, and national events. We bring the game to you. Feel the excitement of every play, every score, every victory. Get your seat, get on air, and immerse yourself in the heart-pounding action. The Southeast Sports Network, where sports come to life.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
See, Smokey thinks I'm funny.
Hold on.
Back in Waleska, Georgia, at Ken White Field, Gabriel Schrei, Lorenzo Robinson. And so after a scuffle and some arguing, they have ejected Herbert, the ace pitcher for Reinhardt University. They have ejected the head coach of Reinhardt University, Jonathan Burton, and the third base coach of Ave Maria's Gyrenes.
And not really what you want to see in a spot like that. You know, being a team that's been able to comport themselves a certain way and really building up, and emotions running high, especially late in the game. And you can tell Ave Maria, they were going to have fun with it, especially with the way that Reinhardt was able to beat them on Monday. But just thankful that it stays at that point and it doesn't escalate any further. So hopefully after this game, we're able to keep both teams away or any of the parties that were involved and just keep it baseball.
Delivered for strike one with 2 away. Kelly. He's 2 for 4. He's been really good today.
He has, and it was definitely needed for Ave Maria coming off of that 0 for 6 performance he had yesterday. He stepped up when they needed him the most and really provided a nice spark on offense.
So it's been a minute, and I remind you, this lead runner at third base in prime scoring position, Kelly, represents a run that would end the game.
He does, and Reinhardt, though, hoping that Brock Weiss can come up with that last strike to give them that sliver of hope they need going into the top of the 9th inning.
Weiss, the 0-2. Kelly punched out by Weiss to retire the side. Reinhardt trying to hang on as we head to the 9th inning between these two sides.
Want to watch your favorite Southeast teams in action? We've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at sesnsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere. Catch the most thrilling moments from your favorite local teams, only on the Southeast Sports Network. From jaw-dropping touchdowns to game-winning goals, we bring you all the highlights that make the Southeast the heart of sports. Don't miss out. Tune in anytime, anywhere, and relive the action like never before. The action lives on our YouTube channel, but you can watch highlights many different ways by visiting our website. The Southeast Sports Network, where every play matters.
Back in Waleska, Georgia, as Vargas will lead off for the Reinhardt Eagles. Gabriel Schrei, Lorenzo Robinson, welcome into the top side of the 9th inning. Rocks and fires. So this is it for Reinhardt. They've got 3 outs to play with, trying to save their season as Johnson, the Concordia Ann Arbor transfer, is trying to end it. Blasted, floated, controlled. 1 away for the Gyrenes, who can taste their trip to the final game of this day.
And Ave Maria, how about the job that they've done over the course of this week? Started strong in that game against Reinhardt, just faltered late, weren't able to come through. They had one of the very best games, probably in NAIA opening round history, against Oakland City yesterday. Battled back to win that one.
Back towards the wall for the Eagles, and this one is gone. A blast over the right field wall as Boscarino sends that one trailing out of state. Reinhardt gets one back in the top of the 9th. Unlikely it's enough to spark a storming comeback, but oh baby, put those shades on.
So I'm going to give a quote that I've heard cycle through members of my family over the course of my life, and I'm not entirely sure who the point person was in it, but I've heard multiple people say it. When there's breathing, there is life. So as long as there's outs left on the board, Reinhardt with 2 outs left, there is life. You do have a chance.
Ave Maria has retired 1. 2 outs away from taking on the Wolfpack of Loyola New Orleans, and our count even at 1. Boscarino followed in the lineup by Dion, who is 2 for 2 in this game.
But again, on Ave Maria, battling back in that game against Oakland City, Now just think about the margins of error that are so slim, and I say it and it kind of sounds cliche, right? But
lifted by Dion to the left. This one is trending foul as they can't run it down and it pinballs around.
But think of this. Oakland City was ahead against Ave Maria 8-6, 2 outs on the board, 1-2 count, ball hit into the infield. The game seemed all but over. An error from Oakland City kept that game alive. Ave Maria scores 2 runs and wins the game. Reinhardt, in a game that they lose by 1 run yesterday, 4 errors, 5 batters hit by pitches, 2 passed balls. Margins of error that slim, just like that, can be a flip of the script, can be the difference between you heading on a plane to Lewiston or you making your way to pack your bags and head home.
Gyrene's the payoff pitch. This one stays fair. He's in trouble. Down to first. Cut down. 2 away for Ave Maria, who can taste victory over the Eagles of Reinhardt, seeking a massive upset in our Waleska site bracket.
Massive, absolutely. The 4th-seeded Ave Maria Gyrenes again came into this week only 2 games above 500. A bit misleading when you factor in their schedule. A quality opponent. But coming into this week with that record and being able to not only take on a top 5 team, but potentially top them at their place with a spot in the opening round championship on the line.
Quick meeting on top of the mound for these guys. Want to make sure they're doing it right as the umpire will break it up. Thanks to the iconic Matthew Kippy who's in the comments. We're ready to ramp this thing up. Gabriel Shrine, Lorenzo Robinson. It is opening round baseball from North Georgia. Reinhardt has an out to play with. They need to manufacture 7 runs.
When there is breath, there is life, but that life slowly trickling away from the Reinhardt Eagles.
Oh, 1. Low, this is into the turf. It evens our count at 1. Iceman got a hold of this through the infield play to first in time. The Gyrenes of Ave Maria have done it. They have upset the Reinhardt University Eagles and advanced to battle the waiting Wolfpack of Loyola New Orleans in our evening game. If they can beat them, they'll force the extra game tomorrow and have a chance to claim the championship in this opening round bracket. Lorenzo, a stunning upset for the Reinhardt Eagles, a thrilling victory for the Gyrenes of Ave Maria, 11-4. Your closing thoughts on today's matchup?
The 4th-seeded team doing everything they needed to do. Again, those margins of error so slim. Ave Maria making all the necessary plays in order to find their way in the opening round championship. And again, just want to make sure that everything is okay. Keep both sides in their respective corners. But a great job by the Gyrenes, and they've earned the right to play later on today.
Lorenzo, great analysis, great day. Thanks for being with me for the broadcast. As always, my friend, you did a wonderful job. For all of the Reinhardt Eagle fans, for all of the Ave Maria Gyrene fans, I'm Gabriel Schrei saying so long from Waleska, Georgia. This has been a production of Schrei Media and the Southeast Sports Network. All games and events airing on our networks are broadcast live and are copyright material. Today's game will be archived and available for replay inside of the app or platform where you viewed it. Your final score, 11-4, the Gyrenes of Ave Maria take the win in North Georgia.
Want to watch your favorite Southeast team live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at sesnsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere. Catch the most thrilling moments from your favorite local teams, only on the Southeast Sports Network. From jaw-dropping touchdowns to game-winning goals, we bring you all the highlights that make the Southeast the heart of sports. Don't miss out. Tune in anytime, anywhere, and relive the action like never before. The action lives on our YouTube channel, but you can watch highlights many different ways by visiting our website. The Southeast Sports Network, where every play matters.
The story of the United States has been written for centuries. Penned by millions of authors, written in every language, from every perspective. With every chapter as unique as our people and our land. Our story is one made up of many. Find yours in the USA.
The rhythmic sound of more than 500 cascading waterfalls. The endless echo of more than 10,000 caves. The serene silence of 1,000 miles of wilderness trails. The next time someone tells you to get lost, consider it an opportunity. Your vacation is now playing in Tennessee.
At the Salvation Army, a shelter isn't just a place to rest. It's a chance to shed layers, let loose, and finally let it go. With your gift, a warm bed is just the beginning. It's the first night of a new day. When our homeless neighbors feel safe enough to close their eyes, they can see the way forward.
A truck is a tool, but a ram is life. Yeah, it's the wipe the sweat off your brow sort of life. But it's also the let's load up the ATVs life. The my kids play way too many sports life. The let's find a secret spot to fish life. That looks nice. Innovations, comforts, and powertrains built to power all the lives you live. Ram.
The Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire Tablet with just a few clicks.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for today's broadcast. This broadcast is a product of Shrine Media, LLC. Unauthorized use, sale, or redistribution of this media in any form is strictly prohibited without the express written consent of Shrine Media. Radio and television mediums are encouraged to reach out. Thank you for tuning in.